What's good, everybody? Welcome in to the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not close. A tip of the cap this morning from the Early Edge universe to one of the greatest basketball analysts, whether you liked him or you didn't. He was always there. Billy Packer has passed away, part of the CBS family with us here a very, very, very long time. So just wanted to give props where props are due. College basketball, NCAA tournament, ACC, that was all Billy Packer in the 80s and the 90s. Now, as for this show, man, our boy EC is propping us up on his shoulders because yesterday he hit not one moneyline parlay, but two moneyline parlays. How about that? Arizona State, you are now dead to me. Martin W. Green in that Real Madrid. But, you know, today is a busy day at the brand. This weekend is a busy weekend at the brand. Today, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Sia, we hope. Prop Stars and Uncle Dave, our props weekly extravaganza for Championship Sunday. 49ers, Eagles. Oh, and do we have a special show for that? Oh, I think that we do. 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, we will count down to the NFC Championship game. Then later in the afternoon, another full show, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, as we break down the Bengals and the Chiefs, or what I like to call the main event. Now, when you have a day like today, and you're trying to lift yourself up, and you're trying to head into the weekend in a positive fashion, well, I can't think of anything better than Big Pick Energy Friday.
Let's go!
Let's go! Let's go! Wait a second. We're missing one person.
Be there.
What?
There.
Buckus, has your ego grown so large that you kicked Sia off the show?
I'm not saying yes, but I'm not saying no either, Coach.
I just got a text from the bosses, Chip, and
What?
they said, call me after the show.
Oh, no.
I think those two things are bucket going over our head. All right, I'll deal with that in a second. Sia's somewhere, but even if he doesn't show up, we still have his picks. We know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know this is one of these special days of the week, and the man in the bottom of the screen is the reason we call this show Big Pick Energy Friday. And Chip, I know you are at an age where you could appreciate the greatness of Billy Packer. Your thoughts on the man passing away yesterday?
I mean, it is not a stretch for me to say that Billy Packer's voice is associated with my love of college basketball. That, you know, his time not only with CBS, but with some of those local broadcasts with your Food Lion commercials, you know, like that was me falling in love with college basketball here in the state of North Carolina. I think about his voice as being associated with those Saturdays and Sundays when you're watching with your friends. And what do you do at halftime? You go outside and you shoot hoops. Doesn't matter if there's 42 degrees outside, Ma. I'll take a jacket and my shorts. Like all of the passion that I have for this awesome sport, it was always associated with those beginnings with Billy Packer there on the call. So I've gotten to know his son over the course of the years. And so, you know, my thoughts are with everyone who loved Billy Packer, that family, the entire Packer family, as they are mourning and celebrating the life of a legend in the industry.
No doubt about it. If you want to see a really good interview, Jim Nantz did an interview this morning on CBS this morning. I thought it was really good. He was his longtime partner for a while. Now, speaking of partners, he is our partner here on Fridays every single week. But Buckets, it begs the question, why are you in a jacket this morning?
Coach, I got to keep a little bit of secrecy in my life, especially as I venture deeper and deeper into the Hinge world. So I'm just going to say, you don't want to know.
What's Hinge?
I knew you were going to ask
Chip.
I knew, Chip, you were going to ask that.
So is it a dating app, I'm guessing?
It's a
dating app.
Yeah.
It's a dating app. And
is it a highbrow or lowbrow dating app?
No, it's a highbrow. It's the
highbrow.
highbrow
Nice
one.
one.
It's the highbrow. There's no doubt about it. It's the highbrow.
No
However,
judgment. If you want to do a grimy dating app, no judgment from me, man. You know, like whatever gets you going.
It's the gift that keeps on giving as far as I'm concerned. But it's not just buckets. EC is also in the dating world on Hinge. And if they ever get in the same town, what if they actually matched with the same person? That's what scares me. That's what scares me. So we'll deal with that at another time. But let's get into it. And by the way, you want to stay until the end of the show. If you're brand new, you want to stay until the end of the show. It's Friday. It is Friday. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I got to tell you, there are certain little weekends and days that college basketball has put together events that can really help you as far as research is concerned. Chip, start us off.
100%, Coach. One thing that I always hear from a lot of coaches when the regular season and conference tournaments end and you get into the NCAA tournament is, thank God we don't have to play these guys anymore, because you just get so sick and tired of game planning for the very same teams. And even if you're not playing that team 2 to 3 times in a season, you're always seeing them on film as you're getting ready for another game. But that isn't what the NCAA tournament experience is like, where it's going to be an opponent that you're not used to, and maybe you don't even have that much time to prepare. So that's why I've got my eyes on the SEC Big 12 Challenge, because this is going to be an opportunity for us to see all these different coaching staffs and all these different teams prepare for an opponent that they haven't seen a lot of, that they haven't spent a lot of time more than likely preparing for. And there are some interesting spots, because there are teams that we know will be in the NCAA tournament in tricky positions. I'm talking about number 15, Auburn, going on the road to go play West Virginia. Number 2, Alabama, going to play Oklahoma. Number 12, Iowa State, going to play Missouri. Number 11, TCU, going to play Mississippi State. Throw in that awesome banger of a Tennessee-Texas matchup at 6:00 p.m. Eastern time. And of course, Kansas at Kentucky. Kansas trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak. There's just so much for us to learn from all 5 of these games. Just get your notepad out and start taking notes, because this is the closest thing that we get to an NCAA tournament type game from a preparation standpoint. And we can learn some things about these teams, players, and coaches here this weekend.
Educate and entertain, ladies and gentlemen. Educate and entertain. Great storyline from my man Chip. Now, I'm looking at 2 teams across the pond, buckets, and whenever you get these 2 names together, it's awesome. However, this is a little bit different than a league matchup. So explain the difference and why this is such a big matchup coming up.
We have a massive matchup between the Gurus, Arsenal Gunners, taking on Manchester City. These are the 2 big dogs in the Premier League right now. But as you mentioned, Coach, this is not a league game. This is the 4th round of the FA Cup. And as we all know, cup games can be difficult to bet and they can be difficult to predict, because especially when you have teams like this who are still playing to win the Premier League, we could see some slight rotations. Now, neither team wants to lose this game, because this is the first time they have played each other this season. However, it's one of those games that you have to be careful until lineups come out, because we've already seen Erling Haaland sit multiple cup games. We've seen Saka for Arsenal sit multiple cup games. This is just going to be a tricky match, but ultimately it's a match where, regardless of who plays, these are 2 of the best scoring teams in the world right now battling it out this afternoon.
Yeah, and Man City's been struggling a little bit since the break. So I think they, regardless of cup or league, they want to put their best foot forward today, correct?
Correct.
I do my research with this soccer. Who are you talking to? Now, Sia Nejad, the counselor of cash, of course, he always comes prepared. And truth be told, he just unfortunately at this moment had a power outage in his place. So that is why Sia is not here. But he had a great storyline in today. I actually tweeted about it right before the show that John Rahm, 8 shots back, is only plus 700 to win the Farmers Insurance. That's crazy. I would tell you never touch that. There's a million guys between John Rahm and the lead, but he's won the last 2 times that he's gone out there. He came back from 6 down on the final day at the Century Tournament of Champions to beat Colin Morikawa. 8 shots with 2 days to play is not that much. Keep your eye on John Rahm, but the number is not good at all. All right, now we got to get to our board for the day. Oh, and it's like an embarrassment of riches. But speaking of riches, these guys are expensive. We got to pay those pesky little bills. Here's a word from one of our incredible partners.
There is something coming. Old friends and allies standing together again, reuniting to accomplish a shared mission. Knowing your destiny must not be denied, because this decides everything.
Bengals, Chiefs, the AFC Championship. And at halftime, the world premiere for the official trailer of Star Trek Picard, streaming February 16th on Paramount+.
It is that time. They're typing hashtag bucketheads, hashtag chipheads, whatever that means. All right, buckets. You're going to start, and you're going to you're going to finish. What do I mean? Those people who are new, they know what I mean. So buckets, I know there's games today. I know there's games over the weekend. Start us off and be very professional. You never know who's watching right now.
Well, I'll start us off here, Coach. And I myself am a hashtag chiphead, so I'm honored to be on here on these shows with Chip. But let's jump right into the slate this afternoon. It is a congested schedule. It is an absolute mess of a schedule as all these big teams try to fit in games. So we do have Bundesliga again today. I'm looking at the matchup at 2:30 this afternoon between RB Leipzig and VfB Stuttgart. Leipzig, and this hurts me to say as a Bayern fan, is probably the best team in Germany right now. This is a team that, because their best player, Christopher Nkunku, got hurt during the World Cup, the books didn't give a lot of attention to, and they've had very soft lines for Leipzig. Well, since the World Cup break, Leipzig tied Bayern Munich and just won their game against Schalke last week 6-1. This is a terrifying squad that has amazing goal scorers everywhere. Now, the money line is too juiced here for me. However, I do like RB Leipzig on the first half money line a lot here, currently sitting at -105. All that matters is that first 45 minutes. They could be up 2-0 at halftime and lose the game 12-2, and it doesn't matter. We cash as long as those first 45 minutes go well here. Then I am going to be looking at this FA Cup game because, as Coach mentioned, both teams do need a win here, regardless if it's domestic or FA Cup or EFL Cup. It doesn't matter. These are two teams that need a win, and these are two teams that score an absurd amount of goals right now. Both teams, the score I like, the over I like, but by themselves, they are too juiced. Put those together, BTTS and over 2.5 goals gets you -110 for the FA Cup game at 3 p.m. this afternoon.
I cannot wait for this game today. And you know, somewhere the guru is going to be shutting off all of his phones, all of his iPads, whatever they have over there in England. I'm assuming they have iPads because he loves himself some Arsenal. Now, I don't know if he loves them as much as you love Bayern Munich with that stupid tattoo that you got, but it is. Hang tight, buckets. Hang tight. All right. Up next, Sia Nejad, the counselor, has 2 plays from round 2 of the Farmers Insurance Open. Round 3. It's a Saturday finish. And we're going to go Xander Schauffele, -120 over JT. Now, JT really struggled yesterday. He shot a 4 over, I believe, on the North course, which is supposed to be the easier course. All the really great numbers have come from the North course, and he struggled over there yesterday. He's been struggling. He hasn't had a top 10 since last July. But he's JT, so that's why the numbers are what they are. We love Xander, who played well last week, and this is like his home course as well. He's from San Diego. Then Maverick McNeely, really been trending. We're going to put him in a 3-way to bring the number down just a little bit. Sia did this a week ago, and it's a really smart way of just adding in a third player that you don't think has a shot, and then that brings that number down. So Maverick McNeely, -117 over Paul Haley and Harry Higgs, one of the great personalities on the PGA Tour. And also, if you're looking at the win market, I told you out the top, +700 for John Rahm, maybe not the best play. Well, Sungjae Im, who's a tremendous player, right now he's at 60-1. And there's some really good value, we believe, in the win market because Sam Ryder, all due respect, is not a guy that's been there before. He just hasn't been at the top. And on this big boy golf course, there could be somebody coming from behind, maybe just a little sprinkle on Sungjae Im. All right. What's the matter, Buckets?
I wish Sia was here because I am a huge Justin Thomas fan, and I would have called him out for a showdown instantly on that one. I think he's way off there, Coach.
You're such an idiot. By the way, somebody in the chat said that they were afraid that you took out your pineapple pizza rage on Sia. What is that about? What is going on? Have I Chip, this is my world on the daily. That's what we talk about. Pineapple pizza.
Are you in on pineapple pizza buckets?
No,
Are you
hell
out?
no.
Oh,
Hell
come on,
no.
Coach. Come on.
Never. That's not even pizza.
No.
That's a fruit salad is what we call that. It's not pizza. Pineapple pizza. Stop it, Buckets. Just stop it. All right, Chip.
I do like hot pineapple. That was somebody said like pineapple should never be hot. You put good diced pineapples on a taco with the right flavor combinations. I can rock with that.
Well, apparently all the chat does too. They love pineapple. They're calling Sia a hater, saying a hater. Oh my goodness, I've completely lost control of Big Pick Energy Friday. But you know what always gets us back on the track? We know what time it is. Chip, floor is yours.
I am once again asking you to trust Kent State on a Friday minus a big number. We begin with the Golden Flashes minus 11, 10.5. Last Friday, I told you to lay 9. And this time, I am once again just jumping on the back of the Golden Flashes, especially in a bounce back spot, because you look at Kent State and you say, oh my gosh, they lost outright to Northern Illinois. NIU went out of its mind, hit 13 3-pointers, shot 57% from the field, 1.25 points per possession. And if you did that over the entire season, you'd be the best offense in the country. It was just a blackout game for NIU. They pulled away late. That is not who they are, and that is not who Kent State is. Love their opportunity to get right, especially against a Buffalo team that turns the ball over a decent amount, against a Kent State team that, I mean, I'm not kidding. 1 out of every 4 possessions against this Kent State defense basically results in a turnover. Number 14 in the country in turnover defense. They're 13-4-1 against the number. They are 6-1 at home. And in these quick turnaround games, 7-1 against the spread. We take Kent State. We lay it in the bounce back game. Another Friday night cashing with the Flashes. That's what we want to see. Next game, we're going to go to St. Louis. Man, they are cooking. They got 5 straight. They are finally getting healthy, and they are going to play at Steph Curry Court at Belk Arena against a Davidson team that's going to lead to a big-time clash of styles. Now, the odds makers have this as a 1-point spread. Upset alert? I don't want any piece of that, because this is where my football brain, I can't cut it off, because we always talk about game script. We talk about the way that the styles are going to match up against each other. And one thing that Davidson does do very well is they make you work for everything. They get back on defense, they get set, and they make you work to get the good shot. It's a St. Louis team that really wants to get up down the floor and run. Davidson playing at home, trying to get the upset. The game plays to their style. And this Davidson team, boy, they wish they had any Curry on their team. They're not a very good 3-point shooting team. They get most of their buckets inside. So we will not have a high-scoring game. We go under the 145.5 in this A-10 matchup in just outside of Charlotte.
I absolutely love it. On Steph Curry Court. People are loving Chip today. But Chip, you know, Buckets is rather new to Big Pick Energy Friday, and he's rather new to having multiple days a week, and he just thinks that it's fun or funny to call somebody out on one of their picks. But here in the Early Edge universe, when you call somebody out, just because their power is out doesn't mean that their phones don't work.
Ooh.
So I just got a little text from the counselor. And he says, if Buckets would like to step up and take JT, I'm more than happy to take Xander for a little showdown in round 3 at the Farmers Insurance. So your big mouth just got you in trouble. Are you in or are you out?
Sia, I am in. Let's do it, Coach. My first ever golf bet.
So how long have you been on this show? How long have you been on this show?
A little over a year.
Let's try this again.
Okay.
Buckets, are you in or are you out?
I am in, Coach.
And
I don't remember what we're supposed
Snake,
to
hit
say.
the music.
it's gonna be a showdown. There you go.
I can't
All right.
really feel that one, Chip. I can't even really feel that one. Are you serious right now, Buckets? Are you serious? At least Caddy Daddy is laughing. Damn. You'll probably win the showdown too. It's probably what's going to happen. and he didn't say anything. You didn't even. This is how little you know. You could have asked for odds because you have the underdog, but you didn't do that because you wanted to talk trash. So you had JT. You could have got him at plus 120, but alas, you agreed to a showdown at even money. Do your research, homeboy. Do your research. Now, grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the Snake, who also rolls the music. Sia Nejad, the counselors, on 2 round 3 plays today. One's a 2-ball. Xander over JT. Showdown there with buckets. And then Maverick McNeely, 3-way over Paul Haley and Harry Higgs. Then Chip, 2 college basketball plays. Kent State, -11. We've loved Maction on Friday nights. Absolutely love it. And then St. Louis, Davidson, under 145.5. And then buckets, he's on RB Leipzig, first half money line. I saw somebody in the chat asking where that is. At most books, you hit on the game, and then the first half will drop down with all of the other bets there. It's usually how most books will do it if you can't find it on its own. Then Man City, Arsenal. You put these two together, brings the number down, both teams to score, and over 2.5. So 2-1 would be perfect. 3-1 would be even better, but that's all we need for that particular game. But Fridays is one of our special days. And Fridays is one of those days where we take it a step further and we go around the world for the here or there parlay. All right, buckets. All right, let's go. By the way, I'm going to see O-Town tomorrow, Ryan Cabrera, a little bit of NSYNC, doing all that tomorrow night. Yeah, old school out here in California concert. But that's tomorrow, which is where most of your games are coming from for the here or there. And did we cash last week, buckets?
We did cash last week, Coach. Let's cash again this week. Just keep it going.
Let's go. What do we got?
We are jumping into our favorite bet in the soccer world on a 3-piece parlay here. All of these games are tomorrow. Remembered that this time. And we're taking both teams to score in all 3 of these matches. For the first one, we're looking at a matchup between Hannover 96 and FC Kaiserslautern. This is in the 2nd division of the German Bundesliga. So Leipzig, Bayern, all those teams, this is the league below them. Then in our second match, we are going to Turkey for the Turkish Super League, which is one of our favorite leagues here on the Early Edge. We've got a classic matchup between MKE Ankaragusu and Gaziantep FK. Once again, both teams to score in this matchup. These are 2 of the highest BTTS teams in all of Turkish soccer. Expect fireworks in this game. And then finally, we're going to a team and a matchup that people have probably actually heard of these teams. We've got Olympique Marseille taking on AS Monaco in France's Ligue 1. As the bosses and coach have said, I've got free reign here when I'm doing the here or there parlay. So even though this is a big league, this is a big BTTS league. So we're going to keep that going. Throw all 3 of these together. Beautiful odds at plus 380 for the here or there parlay.
I never, ever, ever, ever remember telling you have free reign. I don't ever remember saying that. I really, really don't. But France is here or there, so it qualifies. And every time you say it, I just think of Triple H. Liga One. I just love when we do the Liga games. All right, let's cash it 2 weeks in a row. Gentlemen, I think that's all the damage that we can do, correct? I think so. Man, I love doing the show. I love spending time with you every single morning. I love it on Fridays too. This is joy. This is what joy looks like. And with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Friday and Saturday tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. The counselor here in spirit. Buckets. And, of course, our main man, Chip. I am the coach. Don't forget about Snake behind the scenes, always on the 1s and the 2s. We're here every single day, multiple times a day. 2 more shows. Turn on those notifications. We grind for you so we can win with you right here at the Early Edge. Good luck.